but they got the work cut out, and then they're going to take them down in a 2-map manner. We'll get into it now. We're going to have a CT start from G2 here, looking to open things up with an aggressive play once again towards the apartments. We've got the smoke and defuse on the back of Hunter, who falls back. He doesn't fancy his chances towards that second middle position. A 4-man stack towards B from G2, with Hunter in transition as well. They really have put all their eggs in the proverbial B basket.
They certainly have. Let's see whether or not this will pay dividends. Hunter, part of his role now is not only to keep A safe, but to get information safely, and that's oh so hard. For now, he just poked his nose around the corner. And we'll play passive in library for now. At the moment, yes, this does seem to be the right read, especially considering the utility Astralis are bringing into this one. This could be a full B execute. No Kevlar, though, on 3 of them. Yeah,
so they're going to smoke absolutely everything they can. Molotov to new boxes or emo. Kenny S with first contact. Molotov deployed. That does land towards new boxes. Aminex to be hitting the heat to that one. It's a very effective execution, but the headshot comes in first for Jax.
Not bad, but they do trade into the site. It's Zipex and Magisk, but keeping it even is Nexa. He didn't fall off the boost. He can return to this if he needs to. Great pick off from Nexa. Catching Glaive, they thought they neutralized him, but he's managed to stand his ground. Bomb on back, Zipex is going for a jog. It's time to see if the Minister of Clutch can get himself off to a flying start map 2, get his team, get the momentum to shift early. And actually the fact that he's hit the brakes here is hoping to catch one on the way. By pausing as well, he will keep the B players paranoid for a late arrival there. 20 seconds, and he has the audacity to be tucking in on Arch like this.
Yeah, he's got an interesting approach, that's even better. It's the Glock headshot open things up. That's a B bomb plant, no problem here. Kenny S is low. Hunter has a smoke, and that does increase the chance. He can smoke on top of the bomb, but it looks like we're having a lot more active play here from Zipex. He spotted one towards the arch side. They're actually both in that area now. He still has 100 HP and every chance to win this round.
Yeah, jumping and low. Kenny deals with it. Landing on the Vespa gives him accuracy quicker, and so does manage to get himself that first and important connection. 2 frags from Kenny in that one, and does put the first on the board for G2 to get off to a flying start here on Inferno. Bomb did go down, though. We know what that can mean.
It can mean rifles in the second round if you're that way inclined. The problem is they didn't get a massive amount of kills, but we'll see whether they want to go for this. And that's G2 giving Astralis a taste of their own medicine. We've seen a lot of B stacks from Astralis in their pistol rounds recently, and you can see why. The full execution coming through. A little bit dicey for Kenny S. Gets a couple of kills through the smokes there, but ultimately denies everything on that side of the map. But Zipex, in a 3 versus 1, got a bomb planted there, a couple of kills for himself, and yes, they'll be taking a tactical timeout, and I can confirm this is a force by at least for one of the players. Glaive has gone all in, and he's been dropped to Krieg by Magisk. So they are going to go for this one. Krieg is very scary in these sort of rounds, and G2 were good at actually bringing out the rifles preemptively on the previous map, you remember. They were planning for the third round. That was about the bomb plan. Now it has gone down. They know they're up against something here. And the fact we've had this much time between the round, I feel like they have a little inkling.
It's almost a tell, right? It is. If this was poker, they're wiggling their eyebrows or whatever else you do. I don't play poker enough to know really how tells work. I'm guessing it's eyebrow related.
Yeah, mainly in the eyebrows.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
Basically, that's all poker books tell you. Just look at the eyebrows and just play the cards, play your game, and do what you can.
Shave them off. For now, Aminex, however, has been tagged up with his early aggression banana, but that's a small price to pay for a whole lot of control. Deep smokes will arrive, and so that will be able to keep Astralis from manufacturing any early control without expending their rather limited utility pool.
Yeah, very good point. 3 rifles, 2 deagles. Magisk is the unlucky player going into this round of no armor to speak of. He had to drop a weapon, but still capable of the Desert Eagle, trying to keep it at range, looking for those 1-taps if possible. G2 know they're up against a force by now, so this is going to be trying to run the clock down as much as they can. Hold on to the smokes if possible. The incendiary set up for half wall. That would be an incendiary over with a flashbang to follow up as well. Exactly that, just so you can try and get a quick pick here. Nexa, the one sent out. He'll drop a smoke as well, just trying to funnel them back towards the 3-man stack at A. That is a really nice little sequence there. Hasn't cost you anything. Sure, you haven't got a massive amount out of it, but you can see Astralis dissuaded from that side of the map completely, knowing they have no idea what's on the other side, and they don't really have the utility to justify trying to push through that right now. Even executing towards B would be difficult. They've got 2 smokes, couple of flashes. That is about it.
Okay, so they're up towards the brackets, and that's info. They know the CTs aren't holding that aggressively. That's something that they can operate with, and it does seem like despite that, Early control and a last little bit of utility thrown that way. They are looking to finish on B. It has kept Hunter leaning in that direction, so the numbers do favour Astralis on this advance, a rather dry advance, I should add. Amanek only got the SMG towards Nubox, and so Nexa has to do a lot, traded by the unarmoured Magisk. That's a way in, and Amanek spray does do enough as Hunter arrives on the scene to go ahead and finish things off. Glorious work from G2.
Oh my goodness, and that's exactly why I said Astralis just didn't really have the option to head back towards B. Time was running low, they had no idea what would be the other side of half full there, and it was a lackluster execution. One smoke towards spawn. Great work with the FAMAS, I have to say. We are seeing that weapon look much stronger these days. A couple of great kills coming in from the coffin position, but then the swing from CT Spawn was enough. Amanek had the battle tooth and nail at the back there, waiting for Hunter to arrive desperately. He had to pull out the pistol, close things out, but still a very stylish 3K, I have to say.
Nexa and Hunter both have been influential in the first 2 rounds of play here on Inferno, and an interesting interview from Esperanto of Crazy saying that with the loss of the 2 players to G2, they lost all of their firepower. Well, that firepower resides within G2, and we're seeing great displays of it to start off our second map.
Yeah, so many great players being discovered in the
great,
last year of Counter-Strike. Like, Hunter's been playing a long time, but this is his swan song year, right? The fact he's actually got onto a professional team, he's got the resources required now. You can see we're getting the most out of him. Really fantastic player generally.
And similar sentiments, you know, we hear it from JW, we hear it from Kenny, some of the guard that have been around a long time saying we're treating this like professionals, like a job. And it's, admittedly, some would say, why is that always been the case? But it's a development, and a nice catch all the way. It's just going to make this round almost impossible now.
With the level of play, the way it is now, and anyone within like the top 40 being able to viably challenge anyone in the top 10, you know, like you have to step up your game. You can't rest on your laurels anymore and just say, like, well, we're 5 good players, we'll just play default, it'll be fine. You have to have everything battened down. Like Fnatic, we just saw at the recent event, right? They actually looked like they had tactical prowess for the first time in a while. It's the best tactically looking team of Fnatic we've ever seen, and for good reason. You can't rely on the star players anymore.
And a slip up here in Denmark for Fnatic in their opening game versus Astralis, a 16-3 stomping.
Damn.
Yeah, Fnatic, however, stabilizing today. JW taking to social media to thank his teammates for that one, feeling like he hasn't really brought his form over into EPL Finals here. Let's see this again as they wrap things up. That's the scavenged Krieg Hunter. Not only does he find frags with it, he keeps hold of it. And a powerful weapon to utilize on that defensive side, especially nice and early into the piece. 2 Kriegs in response, though, from Astralis. Costs a little more if you have just been joining us recently. Some changes made to the gun. That has been a hot topic, that's for sure. They nade onto that half-wall, and the exchange from Amanek does equal damage, and so really keeping this boat sailing along.
And afloat.
You could argue it's still afloat.
HGs have been exchanged. You can see it's Astralis being very passive with initial approach, knowing there's no real challenge from the CTs. They're going to have to use nades eventually. This will be for the coffins, but looks of things, May just says lining one up is a very common position these days. Decides to fall back. Did throw the HG. Smoke down towards spawn. This doesn't look like commitment though. That's just them trying to bait out grenades if possible, allow Mages just to explore his options towards the B side of the map. Hunter with a loss of vision there. Still with a Krieg in hand though. 3-0. This time G2 getting a good start. Remember, there was 0-6 down to kick things off in the first map. It's much better on their opponent's pick, but it takes so much to topple Astralis on Inferno. Such a scary team on this map.
This is going to be a big sound cue, and it's not going to get Astralis anything. They know the flash has been taken, and Hunter actually wants to react accordingly. Oh, Dupree, despite being flashed. Fortunately, Kenny's there to keep things level. Zipex is going to be applying pressure from one side, and that's an incredible connection. Jax doesn't get a chance to even think about making impact in this round. Down to Kenny with 10 seconds left. Stopping that plant would have done enough, but there's no way with Zipex's position. Another frag goes the way of Astralis, looking like they're first here on Inferno. Locking the other 2 out for the rotate. No way Amanek and Nexa are going to have a shot at this one.
Yeah, a stranglehold on the A side there. Biding their time, we saw them actually get the B control first. That's a classic round of Counter-Strike, really. At default, waiting for the CT aggression to come in first. Bait out those grenades, push them back, take vision away, and enable them to actually get B control, fall back towards middle as a group. And you saw them just pincering towards the side there. It was actually a decent effort there from the library, especially for Hunter with the Krieg in hand. He got flash from his teammate from the arch. Couldn't quite connect the shot. And then we saw that drive-by from Device towards the pit. Sometimes there's just not much you can do about that. He just hit an astonishing shot. That was pretty much round over at that one. The Krieg will sometimes do that to you. And we'll have 2 players survive on the G2 side, which is absolutely fine. Dupree, I think, just went down with a blast there.
Ooh.
He did. He gives up the AK-47. So a little bit of an upgrade for G2. They'll take those all day long.
Yeah, no complaints from Amanek. He's inspecting it. He's happy with what he's got. Last second special treat will soften the blow of Astralis' first here on Inferno. Let's see Device's opener onto Jax, because that was a quick one. Yep, no worries. And confirmed the round with the frag onto Kenny. Zipex, he got so much power by being the second man in on long. Hunter couldn't control both of them, and by losing short and long simultaneously, the round was theirs.
Well, here we go then. Big round for Astralis especially. They can break the back of G2 if they pick this one up. It's already a compromised round with a few players without utility or kits. Grenades exchanged, but doing minimal damage. Device down to 79. He's got 3 players behind him, up towards second middle of Kenny. Watching that bridge right now, but no one to receive a shot. Oh, well, towards B there certainly is. Amanek caught out of position. Device helping himself to a kill, and now it's up to Nexa. Has to drop a perfect flashbang on top of that incendiary. Is it enough?
It's enough to get the first, and actually will full flash. He won't have a chance to even pull the trigger onto the second instead. Now the man advantage is there, but the bomb is down in that smoke. Could be difficult to retrieve. Kenny, however, likely to get caught if Magis continues to hold this line. The fact the bomb hasn't gone down will give G2 some information that there is something awry, and as that smoke clears, that bomb's still yet to be picked up. Taking the risk is Zipex, though. Just as it clears, he recovers. He might have to use his strong arms to throw it across, and he does just that.
Yeah. Had G2 have known the bomb was down in that real precarious position, they could have maybe established themselves some control, kept spamming towards it, but once it's down, I think that's going to be round done here. 4 versus 3. Money not great, as we mentioned. You've got a Kenny S AWP out there, an AUG, an M4, a couple of bits of utility as well in the form of 2 flashes and the incendiary. Hunter's got a defuse kit, so a reasonable amount of kit, more than enough to win a round going forward. If you went in for this retake, you'll likely lose it, and you'll be left with absolutely nothing. The loss bonus is not there for them at all. So it is going to be 3-2 with Astralis just finding a couple of kills there, mainly towards the B side.
Yeah, and I think it's twice now, back-to-back rounds where Device has managed to find the opening frag relatively early. Caught Jax on his aggression towards short the round prior, and this one just walking into B. Relatively dry. Amanek just getting chopped up. No need to put the AWP in his hands to have impact. Device, consistent fragging presence no matter what you put in his palm. So 3-2 the score. Astralis string 2 together. I love the additional insight that the casters are piped. I don't know if it's shared with the broadcast, but we get very mild audio into the player room, and just sometimes hearing that not only the words being said, which I'm not always clear on, but just the tone.
Well, your Danish isn't as good as it used to be.
Precisely. Well, with G2, I have that advantage, of course, with their transition.
Just to know, they didn't force buy in this round either. They're taking a partial around this, and so far so good. Kenny S completely removes Dubry from the equation. His skull left on the floor of the apartments there, and will they be able to grab the rifle? I'm not so sure. They haven't grabbed it just yet, but it's going to push them in towards the B side. There's smoke available, but Amanek unable to deploy it. That's such a great play from Astralis, knowing they could sneak their way through, but it's cost them yet another kill now. Smokes will be deployed, flashes and smokes being thrown in. The CZ has to come out on top here. Maybe a boost will be deployed. They've got themselves another rifle here. Has to be the boost, really. It will be...
Magisk is just pre-aiming it. Nice pre-fire to get him off that, and as they re-smoke it for the boost, it could be a lovely little setup. Close, but Device holds it, and will find Hunter. They know the info that there was a booster as well as the boostee. Time continuing to tick, then Astralis, they have the advantage. They can just hold the line with these Kriegs now. Such a powerful way to stop the site from the retake. Kenny, however, is doing everything. That's 3 frags. Every single one of his AWP bullets has managed to bring down a member of Astralis. Magis looking to claw one back, though. Running out of time and holding the line. Device does keep him distracted. Magis just playing a game of survival, and Kenny, despite all of his hard work, has nothing to show for it. This will be the third.
He isn't surviving this either.
He's not going to be able to get away. Not necessarily without a little treat, though. All of the members of Astralis do fall to that blast and that AWP bullet.
That's a big round for Astralis there. Nicely held after losing the first pick as well. They went in towards the B bomb site. Pretty much dry as well. Didn't want to telegraph anything. Caught the CTs with their grenades out as well. It's always a great feeling. You can really pounce on the opportunity at that stage, and it will be the first tactical timeout for G2. To tie things out 3-3. Money's actually not too bad, considering they've been saving weapons and lost bonus, getting themselves to a decent position now. They're actually averaging around $4,500 per player. Now, that's not ideal. I would still say you can consider a partial buy here. If you fully invest into this one, you're going to have a mixture of SMGs, rifles, no AWP, and you might not have enough to actually win a round. It could be more sustainable at this point, going CZ armor, all the utility, and actually playing it like a gun round and just trying to get close as you can to winning it, and then buying up fully next round. Regardless, they are going to buy with the FAMAS coming through. M4's there as well. So it's definitely enough to win a round, but they are going to be missing some vital ingredients.
And I mean, Kenny's given us a good, fantastic reminder of why putting an AWP in his hands is a crucial component in success. That was 4 frags in 1 round, just couldn't quite convert the round itself, and that's 9 now in total for Kenny. And no AWP as they fully invest into this one. The scene painted beautifully by Henry as to the risks and the choice that they have chosen. The choice they have chosen, I've done that twice now. The choice they have made is how words work. But Ollie will be forcing Nexa off. Oh, it's a choice I was choosing, I think. And I chose that choice, and I've chosen to make it, still. Brain farts aside.
Astralis in full control here with the 4 Kriegs out, the AK-47. You can see it's a very passive crossfire mentality from G2. This position always seems to yield at least 1 frag, though. Kenny S with the silence M4 especially, trying to deploy some sneaky business here. He's going to have Jax in anti-flash position, and that's perfect because that's exactly what they're going to need at this point. Kenny S will strike, and he still maintains his position on the side, but only good for 1 kill so far. He'll be traded out quickly. Maybe not. Hunter's there to save the day, and Kenny S is fighting. How he survives that long, I have no idea. He didn't even take any damage there. I dare say the silence M4 helped out his efforts completely because his teammate goes down towards the apartment. Hunter's taking the aggro from Library, and Kenny S is ducking and weaving on the bomb side there. Finds him their 4th round in a difficult buy.
Stunning. I really like that Kenny managed to stand his ground on that box as well. He didn't immediately drop off because he knew that there was still that element of surprise. He had to be paranoid, admittedly, for that short push, but Hunter had his back, and Hunter, of course, killing Magisk on that advance saved the day. And into what is an intriguing situation. Some rifles and some pistols, a mix for Astralis as they look to try and find their 4th.
Yeah, a mixed bag for sure. Trying to make their way towards the apartments. Now, we've talked about this a lot the last week or so. This flashbang mentality from the apartment position, the flash attack I normally call it. You get 3 players towards the end with the firepower, smoke towards Library, couple of flashes over with the bomb, and he's trying to make your way out quickly. The smoke should hold them at bay, to be honest. There's no point in going for that when that smoke's down. You're just not going to have any chance whatsoever. That's the plan they had in mind, but after losing the kill towards Device, it might actually be for the best. They fall back at this point. 5 on 4, and they've still got the majority of the utility they brought into this round, like 6 flashes, a couple of smokes. So a B play is certainly on the cards, but they need to get past half wall first, which the CTs are defending valiantly. We have got Nexa there, deploying the utility, falls back to the bomb site for now as Amanek holds the coffins. Nexa still has an incendiary, a smoke, and a flashbang. Amanek with nothing but Hunter, nothing but headshots.
Yeah, perfect setup from Kenny as well, using what little flashbangs they have to really keep Astralis honest. Every fight, they have the advantage. Admittedly, Jax just took the first frag onto Device with a bit of a surprising push into the apartments, up against the world's best. He's got balls, there's no doubt about it. Hunter finds his 2nd, and this round will be another for G2. Last man standing, Glaive. An impossible task. Here's the bomb. They have info, though. They're going to be clearing up middle, and not enough damage to bring down Hunter, and the duel is won. G2 find 5 on the defense. It's something that we've been talking about a lot, but it does seem that as time has passed, as G2 have more time with the integration of Hunter and Nexa, their CT sides are starting to look a little tight.
That's a really solid defend, because at that point, that's a 4 spy as well. You give that round out, Astralis are right back in this game. They're in the driving seat here, but Hunter flashed, of course, making it work with that Krieg towards Arch each and every time. Impressive play from him, and it's going to be a full eco for Astralis. It's 6-3, pretty much guaranteed here. The only question mark is whether they can actually maybe get a bomb plant down. 1 kill would be a success of this sort of complexion. Glocks, no armor, no nades. Just to reiterate, this is about as bad as it gets going into round number 9 on the T side of Inferno.
You could use the bomb like a nade, you know?
Yeah, that's about it, yeah. You could try and plant that and hopefully take a load of players down with you and win the round.
Shoot it mid-air.
That's something.
Come on, Valve. Let's get creative. You have to shoot the bomb.
Why haven't we brought that in?
Yeah, like the Unreal Tournament shock rifle. That was a whole different style of play.
Is that when you send the
like
ball,
right
the
click
sphere
the ball
over
and then you let
shoot it?
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun, actually. Let's bring that into CS.
Yeah,
just scrap the bomb idea. Let's just bring the pulse rifle in.
The pulse rifle in. Oh, nice. Going to be seeing this lineup for Hunter. Going to get the first and the second. Just these Glocks getting shredded. No worries by Hunter. The fact he's still standing his ground down to 61. He's got no issues taking that fight with his pistol. And now Zipex looking to cower. Weapons, that was, of course, highlighted by Henry. The only primary objective there was perhaps, just perhaps, you could try and get a bomb down, but you can't plant in CT spawn. I learned that day one of Counter-Strike.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't really work out too well, but there it is, 6-3. Could be a tactical timeout on the cards here. Astralis struggling now, as we'll give out 3 rounds in a row. In terms of the frag distribution, we got 2 kills with dupreeh, Zipex, and Glaive. At the top is Device, who's had some great moments, pretty much being the instrumental member of Astralis so far. And we're going to have the incendiary down towards the underpass and T-Steps position just to keep the T's guessing. And damage inflicted and a faster approach here from Glaive, but he's been spotted. Surely doesn't go for the flames here. He does some significant damage, but it'll cost him his life.
It's lovely work from Hunter. He did certainly get caught off guard there, but he handled it. Immediately responds with the molly and the angle held enough to find the fight on Glaive. And ahead of the smoke, or rather, excuse me, just behind it is Magisk. Jack's responsible for apps. He's actually chosen to play a little more aggressive stance, and so takes the fight with Zipex. 1 out, and now Astralis, they do have an advantage as they start to flood into the site. Kenny's got to do a lot here, and he's going to do nothing. Magisk ensures of that. In the way is Amanek and Hunter, though, and they have caused a whole lot of friction. That bomb is not down. It's in the grasp of Zipex. And he will be able to at least convert that, but playing this with half health apiece, they've got just over 100 health between the two of them.
Luckily, they had a smoke. They've deployed that towards Library, so that's something. But G2 are fantastic on their retakes on Dust 2 with the utility gain. They've got smokes, incendiaries, flashes, but a strong position from Zipex here. Difficult to flush him out. Does Amanek want to flash this or just face check it? Looks like it's the latter. It's worked out for him. Now Magus, the Prince of Pit, waiting in position. The incendiary deployed. He has to move, and that's what we're talking about. Once again, G2, patient, disciplined, and making sure they use all of their advantages with those grenades and keep 3 players alive there. Perfectly done.
Nicely handled. Retakes do not seem to be too much of an issue for G2 across the 2 maps of play so far. They've won 80% of their opening duels on this map. We're 10 rounds in. And that certainly is painting the picture of how this T-sides felt for Astralis. In particular, dupreeh, Glaive, Zipex. 7 kills between them, 15 for a Hunter. You can start really doing the quick maths. So, 7 rounds to G2. Can they continue to extend? It's not an ideal buy. Going to bring buy down to around that 2K mark. So, poised for an 8th. G2 need to convert this and do so neat and tidy. They've had no issues doing so in the past.
I always say it, though, Alex.
Yeah.
These sort of rounds, these are the ones you start feeling comfortable. The CZ pain train starts making its way towards Arch. Damage is done. You start feeling the pressure. Your teammates have to swing off it, but Hunter, he is looking unbelievably sharp right now. I'm enjoying his play towards that Arch position. There's 1 kill pulled back, and dupreeh, and we don't want to find the head of Hunter. But remember, Kenny's still low on the site. This is down to Jax now. Good kill. That takes the bomb down towards the pit. That should tie things up, no problem at all. Can he make it as stylish as possible? Not quite, but that should confirm things here. They give a rifle up towards dupreeh, and that might be a bit of an audacious challenge, but still, they stick the landing. It's going to be 8-3 with 5 rounds in a row on the CT side. This is looking very good for a compelling 2-0.
I mean, that's what's so impressive here. G2, after, a shaky first game, they did manage to overcome it in the end versus Sharks, and now we've got ourselves a real interesting conversation. Astralis, Intel Grand Slam, they were talking about it on the desk, just stating that it would be, of course, an opportunity to pick up another notch in the Intel Grand Slam belt for Astralis. They have 1 already, as do Fnatic and Liquid, if I'm not mistaken. But picking one up before the new year. A couple of changes to the Intel Grand Slam rules, but pretty much the same applies. 4 out of the 10 consecutive events in order to pick yourselves up. There's a bit more specifics, of course, Masters and all of that stuff, new now with the ESL Pro Tour. Let's see this again from Hunter, because this has been impressing you. Not necessarily this round in particular, but a neat and tidy 2K. The fact that he just tuck himself in to making sure Magisk wouldn't catch a stray on his repeat. Yeah. And now we're into round 12.
Especially after they did so much damage towards Kenny as well. Yeah. They'd be thinking there'd be a free kill available to them, but he denies absolutely everything there. Strong stuff with that Krieg. Won't have it for this round, but he's got a similar weapon. It'll be the AUG to come through. That's the half-wall smoke from the CT side of the map. And you drop over the incendiary as well. You can start flashing over. Really applies pressure there. You can see Magisk is feeling it. As soon as he felt like he was out of position, maybe about to be flashed, he tries to swing around the corner and he loses the first duel there. And a good grenade in towards that boiler position. And now, aggressive scenes here from G2. I like this a lot. They could have got Device there. Didn't quite commit to checking the barrels. And they will rotate one player back towards A. That's going to be the sniper of Kenny, of course. Gap in that smoke, though. Device, he'll bide his time and see whether he can make good with it.
Kenny will be smoked off and still yet to find his comfort level for this round. Where does he want to be holding? What line is his? It seems he's actually worked this one out and has an opportunity. Shuts down Glaive. Another is there. It's Dupree. Kenny, 17 frags. And the 12th round of play is against Astralis, no less. And now, well, Device and Zipex, they're going to have a go at B. It's a 2v2 for now. Amanek does tuck in on second orange and will be eliminated, so that's a start. But looking to hold back as Nexa gets an important first.
That's the most important frag of the entire round. If he gives that one up, there's a chance he can get that bomb planted. They could smoke off towards the coffin position, and maybe that snowball could turn into an avalanche. But luckily, it was shut down very quickly, and a lovely sequence there from Kenny S. Pim said coming into this one, they need Kenny to come online. They need to be a world-class sniper to stand a chance here against Astralis, and he's certainly delivering on all fronts here. Great play to open things up. That was the initial kill, baited out by the utility, and then has the awareness as well to watch that arch position. Most players would assume, okay, I've killed one there, knife out, reposition. He knows. He's played for so long now. They're always going to be grouped up together. They're always going to be using the buddy system, right? They're going to be able to trade out kills, and he denies any chance of that happening as he takes grenade damage at the start here. Looking players crossing over towards the bench. The timing, though, couldn't be worse for him. Lives to tell the tale, but Device cannot.
An aggressive stance from Amanek. Device and Glaive will be forced to watch as the rest of round 13 concludes, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a walk in the park for G2. Zipex makes sure of that. Good damage dealt as well to Amanek and Kenny, and therefore those pistols, they pack a punch. Bomb still in T-spawn, though, so nothing to get too anxious about yet. Nice angle found by Dupree, but Jax, he found it as well, and he finds another one. The man is a headshot machine.
Yeah.
We found a new scream. 4 players, and Jax, ridiculous performance on Dust 2. He had 78% headshot rate and 33 frags on our first map. Kenny will find the cherry on top, and that is now 10 already under the belt of G2. They haven't even had to start their T side. Astralis, they're scratching their head. 10-5 a necessity for the Danes.
$16,000 for Nexa as well. They're being so active on the map. I love it. They're not giving an opportunity to get close to these bomb sites just when they start posturing for an execution. Smoke down, Molotov over, double flash, trading out kills, at least pushing them to the other side of the map. But Kenny's waiting and more than happy to oblige with a couple of kills himself. This is looking fantastic, but they're going to have to keep it up. 10-5 is still a pretty decent half for Astralis to be happy with that one, but a 12-3-1, that's going to be difficult to recover. They've done it before plenty of times, but they are not looking comfortable so far.
So it's fun now, isn't it? So you can strap in and see how Astralis, how Glaive, how Zonic, you know, these brains of Counter-Strike praised so often in so many different desks and microphones, and now see how they solve the problem of a T side that's gone awry. What hasn't worked? What do you do with this drawing board? You've got your tools now. Round 14, an important round. Everyone's on the same page there.
Well, that's going to go for a full B execution, and they have about 10 seconds before they have to pull the trigger. You can see they've got no presence towards second middle apartments. They have no idea what flanks are coming through, and they've been locked out by smoke as well. Retreat isn't really an option because you have no idea what's behind you. They now have about 5 seconds before they need to pull the trigger on these smokes and get stuck in there because they know there's a massive chance of these flanks coming through. So here they go. The lineup's coming in. It's a bit of a Hail Mary. Hunter's on the other side of the map as well. He's there, ready and waiting. I think they're going to pull it on 40 seconds. They're going to have to go with that. And in we go.
What's the response? Nexa had a molly in his hand. He will deploy it in time. That's going to be a problem. How do Astralis react to that? They have to wait 35 seconds now. It's not quite burning down the back of their neck just yet. They have their time to be, well, procedural. Clearing out the boost. Amanek falls. There is still 2 on the site to lock this down. Nexa swings out perfectly, plucks the head of Device. Another challenge on its way. It's a double peek from both Dupree and Zipex. They don't clear the corner, but it doesn't matter. Hunter A bit too slow to that one, and now down to Kenny. Can only find one before he falls. Bomb will go down with plenty of time to spare. Jax falls into a 1v3, knife out, and Astralis have managed to find their fourth. We called it a necessity, and they pick it up. A B take was with the answer.
Yeah, it was telegraphed as well, so that's just a very efficient approach from Astralis, knowing that they had been caught out. They knew exactly where they're going to be executing towards B there. They had 3 players ready and waiting, boosted as well, and that boost can be great, but it has to be overlooked. You see Glaive, he wasn't second-guessing that position at all. Came around with the clothesline pre-fire as they managed to break their way in towards the B bomb site. That's the most successful round they've really had so far, and it just took a nice, clean B set piece there. That worked out, and we'll get into the final round of this first half. Kenny S spots towards the bridge. Takes significant damage for it, but he did get information there on that side of the map. Next is going down for sure here. So low, but the smoke might buy him some time. The HE's going to find him, though. Difficult spot to be in. Flames around him, no retreat, and it's going to be an early 5-on-4.
And a double rotate. This is Hunter and Kenny on the way. The cavalry quick to respond to this early loss on B. Device is right at the front of this pack. He wants to challenge Hunter. It's something similar. He might even flash himself out towards the pool. Here comes the contact, and it's not able to find one. It needed to be one from Amanek instead. Astralis, it's 2 hits on B and 2 successful hits onto the B site. Through the smoke, Magisk will connect and confirm. Just Jax from Banana. He's already been spotted themselves. 5 multi-kill rounds apiece. The opening duels going 11-4 in favor of the French international squad.
It was a great half. I really enjoyed it, but like I said, 10-5 is a world of difference between that and 12-3. Astralis right back in this one, but a very important pistol round takes place right here, right now. Bullets being exchanged towards middle, and again, Astralis stacking 4 players on one side of the map. We've seen them do this last couple of weeks or so, and it's worked out to great effect. We'll see whether they can actually break through this initial defense towards the mid area. Kenny S and Jax at the mouth of the middle position right now. We've got Hunter waiting in towards Boiler.
Controlling your view and providing you the perspectives is your observer, Rushley, providing you all of that magical camera action. Just Zipex, he does get the info on the shoulder peak and will actually throw a nade in response. That looks good, and it is. Nexa swallows it. Amanek taking the dregs. A nice catch from Jax. Bit of an unexpected duel, and they continue. Actually, Dupree will neutralize Hunter with a tap of his pistol in towards the boiler room. Now 4-4. Zipex, he's starting to have that utility pulled from him. First the nade, now the smoke. He's down to just his unarmored USP, and does have some support in tow. It will be Device, likely going to boost up the man with the armor. Makes sense.
We've got Magisk who's taking the bait here. He's actually rotated towards the speedway position. G2, not clear as to where they're finishing up. They don't have any utility remaining now, so better off doing a contact play towards middle. If I'm honest with you, B is such a difficult bomb site to break down when you've got the coffin, CD spawn, new boxes to deal with against those USBs especially. Quad would be the best bet right now. Group up together, pre-fire that pit position, and hopefully take Dupree down quickly and get that bomb planted. But Magisk, he's rejoined the ranks of the A site, and this is the shot we were talking about. Quick headshot comes through, but still happy to challenge. Dupree knows he needs at least one, and he's got it. What a brilliant shot that was.
Incredible, and now the bomb's loose. Magisk is a robot. 2 quick kills. I'm not sure he's going to have time. No. Just short. Amanek will watch this round be ripped from him as the final bullet is connected. It's from Device's pistol, rocking the P2K because he's a hipster.
I love that confidence from Dupree. So he's only showing his head right. That's the only part of his body exposed. Sure, he's taking a ding to kick things off, but they have to replicate that shot to take him down once again. He might as well fight as much as he can. We'll have a look at that right now. So he takes the bullet to the face. He's got 1 HP at that point, and he still took a kill down with him. If he doesn't get that frag, the round's over. 100%. Like, no way Magisk can hold that one off. There wasn't enough time, but that 1 kill was a difference maker, and it denies the plant as well. So it will be the eco here for G2 with P250s. No armor, no nades. Just going to look to get the bomb planted if possible. Bait out some utility or get a kill towards second middle from the bridge.
That's the strat. That's lovely. It looks pretty anyway. Not sure they're going to be able to write too much home about this one, other than the fact that Magisk came behind us and killed us. That could be part of the story. He's already pushed his way all the way down towards T steps. Don't get to see this exchange all too often. And, well, Magisk, he's already going to get the first. He's going to expect more where that came from. 600 bucks a pop, 1,200 in his bank before Amanek shuts him down. We'll put an MP9 into the fray. Hunter's lying in wait, hoping to catch it. Inquisitive Astralis member. My God, Dupree took a boatload of damage there. Glaive did too. Enough, perhaps, for Amanek to throw a couple of bullets of resistance with his SMG, but other than that, the round is Astralis's, and it's confirmed as the bomb's now loose, and Device will wrap things up neat and tidy with the new and improved FAMAS. 10-7.
Well, yeah,
First 2 going the way of the Danes.
He got the 3 SMG combo though, so Mages can certainly bring out the M4 if he wants to. He can even drop an AWP. It means he would be sacrificing a lot himself. We'll see which way he's inclined. The AWP now would be fantastic just to kind of throw a spanner in the works. Goes for the safer play of the M4. You need utility on Inferno. Here's the replay. Nothing too crazy here. Mages pushing in towards T-Spawn. They're all camping on the bridge, and he makes light work of them, farms a lot of cash, and Device to close things out. But here come the rifles. Galil in the hands of Amanek at the start of the round, and aggression from Glaive, looking to open things up, and he does so in a very effective manner. It's Device that gets the frag by virtue of the flames towards the end. 5 on 4, exactly what you want in these sort of rounds when you're a little bit under-equipped in terms of the weaponry.
Yeah, certainly not under-equipped in utility, as that one works out wonderfully. Flames and aggression combined into a rather potent mix. Jax, they know exactly where he is. Famas v AK, he can't quite get it done. Now the French do manage to level it out, and a leap around the corner is met by Zipex and an MP9 twice as he gets himself enough perhaps to seal the round. Big double kill. Hunter could change things as he does manage to level the odds only a little though. Magisk quick to reply into the site. Kenny does neutralize the first. If he wins this, he's got a chance, but so low. And Zipex making that MP9 per. 3 frags. No, doesn't matter what weapons in his hands. A hugely impactful round, and it could not have been more important, converting all 3 to start off their CT campaign.
Yeah, definitely an argument to be made that that gun, pound for pound, is the best in the game so far. If used correctly on a map like Inferno, plenty of opportunities to keep the range nice and close and personal and get stuck in. You can see Zipex is doing great work here. The low HP player that swung afterwards as well. That was just a guaranteed frag for himself, and Zipex applying the pressure, getting close as he possibly can, takes down Kenny to close things out. And at this stage, an eco is on the cards for G2 as their lead is starting to fade away somewhat. It's going to be 10-9 by the looks of things, unless they do something ridiculous with the Desert Eagles here. 2 smokes suggest a B finish. Just going to try and limp into the side, going to bomb down if possible, give themselves a better chance of getting that bomb planted. But they have to even get control first. They're going to be focusing towards the apartments and middle to kick things off. Good chance they could lose everyone in that process. No flashes. And Zipex happy to hold the barrels for now.
Hail Mary, wallbang from Kenny.
Yeah, ambitious.
I like it. Whistle past the air of the CTs. No flashbangs for this. Device can hold this line relatively safely. We'll take off the warning shot, and a smoke hopefully channeling them into Dupree. And that M4 has just a slither of the Frenchman and does enough damage. All 3, no worries. Down to just the pistol. Amanek can't do anything with it, and so Astralis continue their spree. Undefeated so far since the side swap.
Yeah, that's exactly what they needed, Alex. 4-0, 10-9 now. And at this point, it's looking very comfortable, but this is where the game will really begin for G2 on their T-side campaign. They'll take a tactical timeout, work out if they want the AWP in the hands of Kenny. We've always discussed that being a bit more difficult to go absolutely ham like he was in the first map. Like Dusty really lends itself to the AWPing, and the CD side of Inferno does as well, but T-side is difficult to be as influential as he'd possibly like. He might be better off with a Krieg in hand. Time will tell as the coaches discuss the ideas of the next round with their teammates. At this point, though, Astralis knows something's going to change. Maybe a pace formation, something like that, a set piece straight away. So will they try and just fight fire with fire and take aggression to them just to disable whatever they have in mind into round number 20 here? So it is going to be Kenny on the rifle, goes for the AK-47 instead. And do Astralis change their setup in general? 3 players towards B to kick things off. Mages to deploy utility towards mid. And grenades thrown right down to the bottom. No damage inflicted.
Oh, the molly. It's so perfectly timed to force that close line held by Device. Not the first time we've seen him fall foul to it. Doesn't go down, though, just low. I'm remembering this lineup. Thank you, Amanek. Ooh, didn't quite get it out.
Got to throw it sometimes.
Yep.
So it's a 4-man stack from Astralis, confirming it's not a B push, even a probe at the start. Happy to send 4 players towards A, but Glaive thinking better of it. We'll use the speedway to transition back towards B. Maybe a boost towards CT spawn. Him and Zipex actually waiting together in the mouth for this position. In terms of their setup, Zipex with 1 flashbang. Glaive will have a smoke, so he needs to hold on for that to dear life. Get to that point now. Around 40 seconds is an ideal to get it down. If you get to 35, that's perfect, but no one outside B whatsoever. This will be an A finish from G2. 40 seconds remaining. Setting up their smokes, their flashes, device. Defensive with the orb with the low HP towards Library this time. He's looking for one kill or fall back. That's exactly what he needs. He wants another go at this one. Better play to him. He's hit yet another shot and now on for a third. Bomb goes down. Round confirmed. That is stellar work there from Device.
Just like that. Beautiful execution from Device, who has been breaking records with his MVP pickups. You saw a fantastic tweet, actually, probably on the Astralis social media account, just reminiscing about just how many MVP medals he's managed to accrue, and he's head and shoulders above so very many of the big names now. Of course, contributing factor of that is the fact that his team is lifting trophies alongside his incredible performances and consistent, not necessarily the most flashy. 15 frags to him, 4 of which he managed to close out in that crucial 20th round. That was G2's best bet, charging towards long, but straight into his domain. Yet to see G2 have an answer here on their T side. And I'm sure a contributing factor is that Kenny's going to struggle to have as much impact as he did on the first half.
I think you might be right there. Device, though, no problem for him. I thought after that first pick, 30 HP, maybe reel in a little, you know, fall back. But he fancied absolutely every single player. Took the bomb down as well. 10-10, Astralis haven't blinked once in the second half. Up against the partial by now of the G2 squad. A couple of rifles brought in. Hunter has fully committed. You'll see some star players go for these sort of investments. I think they dropped an AK as well for Jax. Nexus had to invest everything he's got as well. So they need at least a bomb plant out of this to justify the significant expenditure as we get into what looks to be another A execution. No one towards B at the very start. Zipex feeling comfortable to rotate over towards A. Dupree and Device working in tandem towards the arch side, but Jax will try and make his access through quad.
And backs are turned and Magis can punish. It's a double kill before they silence him. Big from Nexa to catch out Dupree and caught out again. It was Device and Kenny using that AK, making it sing. The molly will keep him at bay, but the line can still be held. Glaive, however, didn't hit the crucial shot on the cross. It enables Nexa to get that bomb and that smoke set up for a rather juicy post plan. What do? There's a rifle available should he desire it. But we know Astralis, they play the percentages. And Glaive, he's crunched the numbers. He wants to have a good go at this. He does have utility, kit, and now an M4. Conscious of the late lingering towards Boiler, a powerful position. Molotov, he's not going to be keeping his presence on short secret. A smoke towards the site. It's all starting to piece together. He realizes Kenny was just playing it all too passively. That's going to be a third for Kenny in that round, but the first 2 were where he managed to seal the deal for his squad. I was talking about impact, saying he could struggle to do it just a bit more on the T side of Inferno without his zoom banger in his grasp, but he does it with the AK and he does it in style. We'll get to see Magisk. He opened up with 2 kills. It was a 3v5 for a moment before the return from Kenny.
Didn't seem like there was much of a chance there, but Kenny S takes matters into his own hands. No AWP required. The AK-47 does most of the heavy lifting as G2 maintain their lead for now, 11-10. Whether they hold on to it, I'm not so sure. Astralis just feel way too strong in this second half right now. It took a mammoth performance there for the French sniper for them to even get into the round. A 5-on-3, as you said, converted towards the T's. Their first. Will it be of many, though? That's yet to be seen. Damage already inflicted to Amanek. He's down to 52. First exchange towards the apartments, and Dupree will have to drop off. 3 players on this side of the map. Jax has the bomb, but he's top of middle right now. Just gets another smoke down to deny vision, and they're going to fall back towards B.
With
CTs
no
have nothing there.
Yeah, it's interesting. Neither team has been having too much of a battle. It's a stark contrast to the first half, where we did see quite a constant war of attrition for Banana Control. Now the CT utility arrives. There's a sound cue and a Molotov and smoke arrive to seal or sweeten the deal. That nade couldn't have been better. Amanek, Nexa, I think some bullets through the wall as well. They chipped them down to just 16 health between the 2 of them. Not much they could operate with, and so it now falls to Kenny. Can he be the linchpin into another G2T round? Will they string 2 together, or is this just a flash in the pan? Astralis' CT side, it has looked under lock and key at this point. Flash evaded. Magisk's speculative shots do not get met, but with 30 seconds, they're looking a little lost here, Henry.
Yeah, they're starting to shrink now. What's the next play? They've got no utility, no health. Sure, it's a 5-on-5, but someone's going to have to step up and go absolutely biblical in this round. 15 seconds. Just have to say, right, let's go out the apartments. They've even got a flash? No. Just have to walk out apartments and hope for the best here. They don't really have time. This doesn't look good.
10, Bomb still not down, nowhere near the bomb site, and now held by dupreeh. All three, and they can keep them under lock and key. dupreeh with 4. Running away, Kenny, to keep hold of his AWP, but that, I mean, yes, Astralis well handled, beautiful individual performance from dupreeh, but it's because of G2 running out of time. They could not piece anything together. They didn't get anything from their early adventures.
It might sound a bit strange with 10 seconds on the clock, even though it's a 5-on-5, you got 2 players that low with no utility. You might have been better off just saving at that point. Yeah, that just didn't feel like there was any chance. What you're going to do, just walk out and hope for the best. Like, that's all they really could do, and you can see how that was met by Astralis. They're very happy to comply with that approach. Fantastic utility usage throughout the round. It's what you've come to expect of Astralis there, holding onto the HEs until the mid stages as well. Most teams will dump those at the very start. Of course, Glaive has got his with like 45 seconds to spare, dumps 90 damage towards them on the banana side, funnels them in towards A, and as you can see, dupreeh, no pressure from flashes, no one coming in coordinated from Arch. It's all just a little bit too easy with the low HP.
And it's so gorgeous how every time he got one of those frags, he reset his aim to anticipate, you know, hay bales. Every single time he adjusted back. Every single time. It wasn't like they were walking into his crosshair per se. He was just adjusting so damn quick that it must have felt that way. Just Kevlar and pistols then for G2 as Astralis have managed to completely nullify the lead that G2 manufactured with their defensive performance. And now, well, the shoe is on the other foot. The Jack Jones Astralis branded shoe.
Available now. Use referral code Machine.
That's Machine, GG, M-A-C-H-I, M-E.
That's going to be the first pick with the HE grenade there. Jax removed from the equation. Remember, Kenny saved the orb from the previous round, so looking to find opening picks, but they know he's got the weapon. Why would they present anything whatsoever? They've already got the advantage here. Astralis can batten down the hatches. They've got Glaive all the way at the bottom of the banana area, baited in by Zipex, who will just be there with utility, just trying to suggest he's just pixel peeking this one. Got to just get the intel and drop a flash, and hopefully they overlook Glaive's position. He does have the M4 in hand at 61 HP. Just looking for 1 kill before he goes down, considering they have the advantage.
I do find it interesting as well, just taking like notes of how players are slowly developing different ways to jump peek info for banana. Like it started on the half wall, and Mouse Spots were doing that. The timing was perfect. Glaive can even just walk away from that one. There was presence from T-Ramp, and Amanek makes that CZ work. Long range, taps away, finds the back of the head of Glaive, but fortunately for G2 and their T shenanigans, it might just be another case of Kenny wanting to keep hold of that AWP. He's got 4 to find. He has Amanek in tow with the bomb. There's 2 to find. They're going quiet. You can hear a pin drop on this A site. 19 seconds. They're just hoping for an overstep. Now it's time to go loud. Molotov will get the info on 1 and 2. They know dupreeh's in pit, and that's enough for Kenny. They'll send the scout in of Amanek, and he's just going to hope to bring this weapon in and have more influence into the next. Round 24, they'll set their sights on that, because 12, as Astralis will be taking the lead. And, ooh, Kenny, he's been spotted, and he will be hunted and found. Oh, even worse, dies. Nothing for Kenny S. No AWP. There would be a forced rebought. It would be very costly. It would make a huge dent. Likely just going to stick to the rifles coming into the next.
I think you might be right. Might have to be a tactical timeout as well.
Ooh, Hunter has disappeared. There you go. There's proof in the pudding.
Yeah, we haven't said his name a whole lot in this second half, have we? Fantastic in the first, but starting to drop off now. Astralis is the masters of CT side Inferno. That's why I said 10-5 didn't really instill me with confidence they're going to be able to do much of that. It had to be the 12-3 in my book as Device looks to open things up. Somehow that shot didn't connect, but that one certainly does. That's dupreeh pushing towards the apartments and being punished for it.
Hunter's second kill, though. A crucial one. Let's see if it can be profited. Jax towards Boiler. There is a rather aggressive hold with Magisk and Device staring at the peak should you continue your advance. In fact, he's looking to go a bit more. Clears it out, will have the information to convey to his teammates that mid is completely and totally abandoned. The reaction you can see accordingly. Glaive, utility in hand, ready to deploy. His teammate Zipex might want to try and slow them down a little more. The Molotov does force a fight, and he gets the first. Quickly traded, it's Amanek, actually a double. All of a sudden, G2, courtesy of Amanek, have got a real shot at finding the 12th.
I feel like that one's already locked in.
Wow, just like that.
Yeah, well, it was the incendiary that was designed to force the swing out of the T side there. It works out, but they weren't expecting to, that's for sure. Amanek had to deliver on all fronts there, and the Krieg, of course, is the weapon that can find 2 headshots at that sort of range. No problem whatsoever. Round done as Device and Magus will hold on to the AWP and AK-47 respectively.
I wonder, though, will Device He's been spotted. He won't be ready for Hunter to be this close, and so he's always going to be ahead of the line he's holding. Chance to have an element of surprise here.
It's not really worth the hunt on the T side. They just don't have the cash at all. If they even lose one player here, that's going to be a bit of a nightmare, but they've made it work.
Nice little bait. That was real
very
good synergy.
Bait. Yeah, that was lovely. If they lost a player there, Device survives, would have been a nightmare. But they now got the AWP on their side. Certainly worth it in the end. Majors will hold on to the AK-47 in the T apartments there. Go 12-12. So keeping the modest at least. That's going to be a difficult reinvestment now. But the AK say there still is at least one more buy with an AWP available as well. 16 kills for Device and Dupree. Majors at the very top with 17. Here's the replay of that aggression from Dupree there. You can see Hunter ready and waiting for it. He started and closed things out in round number 24. We move on though. If G2 are able to break Astralis, this will be the round to do it. Still going to be a very difficult round to pick up, considering they've essentially got a full buy. That saved AK-47. And in terms of the initial setup now, flashbangs being exchanged, no damage being done, luckily. Device heads towards B, but that's a free kill. Majors, with the flames at the end, forces him out, takes the AWP away.
That's going to be a horrible feeling for Jax, completely powerless to have any influence on his AWP's duel, a little too extended and punished for it. Now Device bringing the AWP to B, and he's already caught another 2 added to the tally in this round. 25th, you said just how crucial it was. Had G2 found the opening first blood, they would have been poised to break Astralis at such a crucial juncture of this series. It is our second map. This is Astralis' pick, and the CT side is testament to just exactly why this is where the Danes wanted to take it. It won't find too much, but this early disadvantage, G2 are going to really have to overcome the odds.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's much chance of that happening at this stage. They have a bit of mid-control, but the AWP delivering shots time and time again. Majors, the AK-47, deadly as you like.
And you know Astralis are not going to overextend. They're not going to slip up.
The most disciplined team in the entire game. They don't give these sort of advantages up, and that's what G2 are looking for. Any mistakes, anyone out of position, but look at it, it's also perfect. Great shot from Jax, but is that enough to get them back in the round? This will be indicative of that. Somehow, some way, they've made it work. It was a perfect setup from Astralis there. They couldn't really play that much better. Just great shots coming in from the G2 side and managing to time it very well indeed. We said that was a massive round for them to pick up as a 5 versus 3, and now a 3-on-2 with the round confirmed in their favor. It's Device, Zipex holding on to the sniper and AK once again. So there'll be something going into the next round. In terms of loss bonus, it's starting to accumulate. We have a second stage after this one, so $1,900 coming in. But have to say these 2 weapons, and at that point, they're probably forced around with CZs and a few smoke grenades.
G2, I mean, we haven't seen that kind of round work for them before.
Exactly.
Never mind, disregard the fact that we're coming into that 3 versus 5. That's just adding more sugar to this tasty, tasty morsel. Instead, it was just 3 incredible frags from 3 different players, all in quick succession. They opened up the site. Everyone hit their shots, and the opposite, of course, for the Great Danes. It's 13-12. G2, they've forced a timeout out of Astralis, and you can understand why. Glaive's going to have to scratch his head a little bit, perhaps poured through the notes, because G2 are 3 rounds away from sending Astralis into the lower bracket.
Yeah, they had no business winning that round whatsoever. 5 on 3. You've got 3 players towards quad, no utility. Time running very thin. Is just one of those calls you make when nothing else is there. We saw it before towards the apartments, right, with 10 seconds left. Couldn't make anything of it, but this time the shots land. 3 of them come in thick and fast, and at this point, as I mentioned, the money broken, $1,900 per player on top of the 0 they had in reserve. But they save those 2 weapons on the Astralis side, so are they going to force buy around it? That's the question. I think they'll get $2,400 on top of their 2K right now. There's enough for a buy next round, but you have the AWP, you have the AK. Problem with this stage of the game, it would be such a massive risk to fully invest into this one. I think you're better off just allowing it to go 14-12 with the AWP and the AK there. You do have a fighting chance of winning the round, but logic dictates that G2 should pick this one up. But let's see how it transpires.
And should this transpire in favor of G2, the lower bracket houses ATK. Team that surprised and impressed, took North and crushed their dreams of playing in front of the home crowd in Odense once again. So what of a curse being established for them. The only one Danish team remains here in Odense, and that is that of Astralis. Let's see if they can perhaps give the crowd something to cheer for.
Scrappy start there from G2. Just 1 player towards B. Amanek with no trade potential. Challenged by Zipex, and you know that's going to be coming through. They've saved weapons there. They're going to be a little bit more active at the start of the round and see whether they can find an opening, which they have. Fortunately, the rifle wasn't given up, but still, of the Orbit device there, the AKA Zipex. This can come crumbling down, and G2 look a little bit rattled right now. They have no control on the map whatsoever. Bottom of middle, less than a minute on the clock here. Still a smoke available and a flash on the CD side, and more importantly, they have a kit as well, so they can actually challenge for this round now.
Getting a bit scary. Gamble towards B, so this one does favor G2 significantly, but it is Device's orb. He's likely going to catch a flash. Doesn't quite manage to catch him on the cross. Will fall back, transfer that information, and then out by putting that smoke down, might be able to delay just a little bit. They don't know that it was a lone operation, and now the backup has arrived. Unfortunately, flimsy backup. It's a USP.
You see how they haven't moved in the B bombs on the CT side. They're hoping the presence of the orb is enough to funnel them back towards B, but G2 holding strong. They have to commit now. They've got 15 seconds remaining. Device needs to hit a couple of shots. First one is absolutely nailed, but where is the trade here? Trying to set him up. This is looking good now. This is the kill that has to come through. Device gets one more. They've got a chance, and the bomb will be planted. Crisis averted. Sure, it was a bit scrappy towards the end, but they're going to win the round.
By the skin of their teeth, though, Henry. My goodness. Device knew he had to survive, and he was doing that wonderfully. They catch him, and they get it down with truly milliseconds to spare. On the 4-second mark, the digits start getting punched in. 3.5 required, so Zipex and Glaive just actually going to be given a gift. Kenny, express delivery, next day shipping.
Yeah, he took his eye off the prize for a second there, and it's going to give the AWP away. That's a little bit disappointing, considering the money was actually not in a great spot for Astralis there. They give up a free AWP. It's not the end of the world. They still have money on their side. They're going to go 14-12 now after losing what felt like a massive amount of rounds in a row. It was actually 5-0 to kick things off here in favor of Astralis, but after finding 3, that's now going to be G2 14-12 on their T-side campaign, but still Astralis finding some advantages out of that. They entered with a rifle and an AWP, and that's exactly what they've left with. Had to fight for it a little bit more, admittedly, but they got the job done in that respect. They'll take a tactical timeout once again. Their final one on the Astralis side. They really have been testing this best of 3 so far. This is the upper bracket semi-final of Group B. G2 kicked things off with a pretty compelling victory on Dust 2, and now onto Inferno. It looked like, well, sure, they're going to have a chance here. We thought they'd be able to give Astralis a good game. Second half begins, and then Astralis thought that they're running away with it. Somehow, though, the Kenny S spree of kills towards that A bomb site, that was the catalyst, really, to getting G2 going on this one, because now they can't be stopped.
Jax did not flinch. He was playing that fight quite far back and detached from the bomb, and you can see that G2 have got something up their sleeve. They've got so much cash, but they've opted to go Mac 10s.
That means like either a rush B or a rush middle. Looks at the former here. They're going to try and overwhelm. Just try and run for any utility and have a surprise factor here and bank on the fact they might not have helmets available to them, and it doesn't look good now. It's been detected, and I feel like Glaive is going to mow them down. They need to start smoking spawn at this stage. It's getting very messy indeed. And the Mac 10 goes over.
Oh, and he gets 2! Jax can tuck in now. Job done. Mission accomplished. Now the utility will lock the Mac. G2, they could have gone all rifles, but they had a plan, and it involved the Mac 10.
The Molotov down as well. The vault up into first oranges. I love that call so much from G2. Knowing the money's going to be tight there, there's a good chance they've got, well, you know what, they've got so much cash. It won't be Mac 10s.
Right. They go default.
We don't need helmets. Let's just play a default round. And they run through the fire. They run through the smoke. They don't even throw a smoke in CD spawn themselves. They're just planning on getting the Molotov down towards new boxes there. Flash over and get the Mac 10 in position. And now Glaive, he needs to keep it alive there. The fact he's going for exit frag doesn't do anything for him. They had 3 Mac 10s there. They're more than happy to go hunting at this point, as we'll see series point for G2 come through. What a fantastic call that is. That's avant-garde Counter-Strike. That is not a play you see every single day, and it's a big one to make, especially when you have so much money and the momentum behind you as well. That's quite special.
Yeah, they're going to have a huge cushion now to play with. 3 rounds, 3 match points, 3 not only match points, but 3 opportunities to send Astralis into the lower bracket here on home soil early. It's our second day of play in Odense for the Pro League Finals, Group B, semi-final. And ATK is the opponent that impressed us, and we'll be waiting for the loser of this.
Look at that. It's so overwhelming. Just as he's jumping up, the Molotov's landing as well. They both leap into the flames. But trust me, Astralis are a team that can pull this one back. We saw them almost do it on Dust 2. Couldn't quite find the overtime here, but Inferno, a specialist at this map. We'll see whether Glaive and his aggression towards B at the start will yield any sort of fruit. It's Mages with the first headshot over. Quickly replied. It's going to be back and forth here. 4-on-3 though. Astralis with the advantage for now. They have full control of the B-bomb site.
This looks good for Device. Promising line held, but Hunter from Apps. There is so much time left on this clock, and yet it does seem like a rather aggressive posturing from the two of them. This pair going to be flashed in by Kenny, and it does catch them. That's going to force dupreeh into a more defensive stance. They're out, and now it's time to dance. dupreeh tagged, pushing into the site, though the dinks aren't enough. You need to convert these. Kenny, he's gone. It was all on him, rather. His teammates dropping around him, fortifying their low, and an opportunity for a second one here, but fresh magazine required, and he just about gets around the corner.
An opportunity for Kenny to close things out, but this is one very difficult round. Luckily, he got the bomb on his back. dupreeh and Zipex are low, and now they'll have to rotate one over. They have no idea whether he's actually going to head towards that B-bomb site. He knows that, but he's buying a bit of time here as he holds up in the apartments, no less. Now, in terms of the players watching that position, it's dupreeh, but he's not really actually watching that area at all. He's actually committed towards the A side itself, just trying to deny the plan. Kenny will do very well to sniff him out there, and then he'll have Zipex to deal with as soon as he finds dupreeh, and that's a big if.
20 seconds, you have to be paranoid about Pit. dupreeh's low. The trade is not going to be immediate. Zipex, however, from short, he's managing to rotate this around with the sound cues, and now that's a first, a chance for dupreeh. 8 seconds, he could do this. 7, he has to get it now. He has to get it right now, and dupreeh, he's done it perfectly. A game of survival. No time to get that bomb in. And another round for Astralis, but my goodness, did Kenny give it a damn good go. dupreeh gets full credit there. All he had to do was just hands off the mouse, get moving.
They win the round, but at what cost there? Because that's not a whole lot to actually take into the next round. Winning the round by virtue of kills is 32.50 per player going forward. Now, you had one survive there. He brought an M4 into this next round. They don't have any pauses left, remember, as they'll bring in UMPs, MP9s, 3 M4s, and a distinct lack of grenades here. Sure, GT didn't pick up the previous round. They could have closed it out there, but Kenny might have got them one step closer to victory.
Certainly. A war of attrition. 27 frags to Kenny. Thought he'd slow down in the second half, and well, closing in on 30. Jack's dropping 30 in the first map. Your stars really have shone, and they continue to do so. Kenny opens up. dupreeh, damage control, does manage to keep things level. At what cost, though? Amanek swinging into library with huge damage inflicted, but damage is not enough. Damage doesn't win rounds, certainly not unless you've got someone to finish it off, and Kenny, he could be the man for the job. Magisk does get shut down and cut down to size. Another opportunity presents itself, and Kenny profits. On for an ace clutch to secure this and knock Astralis to the lowest, but he's going to get caught by dupreeh. We go all the way. It's time for round 30, folks. Kenny trying his absolute damnedest.
Fancy footwork from Kenny once again, but it will be another 2-on-1 that slips by the wayside for him. Round 30 indeed, and Astralis will be much better equipped at this point, trying to just punish that A side as much as they possibly can. But the MP9s, the UMPs, they hold on for now. One more round to reset everything, and we go into overtime here where Astralis will stay on the CT side. Money's starting to run a little bit thin on the G2 side of things here. We've got Amanek with the MAC-10. Khalil for next up and wants to play for this final round. Can they do it? The 2-0 in regulation.
Something about Astralis and staring down the barrel of the most high-pressure round circumstance. They just find form. Used all their timeouts, and that's credit to G2, forcing Astralis to use all of the tools in their arsenal. Still one final opportunity for G2 Esports.
It doesn't feel good though, does it? It feels like Astralis in these sort of scenarios, they always just have so much control. They've been here so many times before, especially on Inferno, having to trail with 3 rounds in a row just to get to overtime. It's looking good for them. They have the advantages required here, and Kenny he's overlooked that position. Spots one at the barrels, but Glaive, he's so good at timing this and swinging out unannounced, and he's done it once again. 3 kills found. Looks like we're going to overtime. I told you he's good, Alex, and he showed us why.
We see this so much now in modern day Inferno. You get someone down late, sneaky beaky, down banana, and you can just bait until your heart's content from the top. Jax then has been put in an impossible circumstance. They've got 2 players in either site. They can have that luxury in a 4 versus 1. He's not got the opportunity to clear all of these corners safely. He's just going to moonwalk into the hold of dupreeh. Not going to be going down just yet, but down and will be finished off by Magisk's swing with the MP9. And so very happy Zonic and Astralis, they weather the storm. G2, it was a great performance to get themselves that double digits. They did so in the first half, but it is an exceptional Astralis CT side, something that we see time and time again. Coordination like no other. It does pull them into OT.
Yeah, that's no anomaly. They are so composed. This is a team that used to be known as crumblers back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Someone that couldn't hold themselves under pressure, but anything but. That is long since forgotten. We're going to see whether now on their CT side, the 16K MR3 format here. This is the replay of Glaive. Like I said, always just so aware as to when to swing. The Orb trying to cover in the end as well. Just didn't stand a chance. Kenny S, Nexa, Amanek all taken down. Round done.
He got that timing so right because Nexa was responsible for that close wall. He was looking to clear it. You could see his intentions as they had the Orpa staring down the top of Banana in Kenny's hands. But now into our first round of play. Everyone's got everything. Welcome to MR3 16K.
Indeed. First to 18.
Ooh, he's so far up. Could catch Glaive's aggressive AWPing. Will be forced off by the Molotov, and Nexa here might want to go swing into it. That's a big opener. Will they choose to punish? Perhaps just posture. Smokes, flashes over. The rotate's going to be coming in. It's Device who wants to try and throw some support into the mix. He'll go straight to Coffins. No funny business. And that's exactly where Kenny's waiting. Swinging out, and Device catches him despite his vision being obscured. Smokes now arriving in a much more large capacity, and now with the early pick, Astralis sees the advantage once again. 2 frags shutting down the G2 advantage.
Yeah, that got shut down very quickly indeed. Kenny S thought he could smoke off the position before Device arrived, but he is already ready and waiting at the coffin spot there. Hunter with the lurk play from Boiler. A little bit too obvious. You can see them ready and waiting for it. It was Dupree gets that kill, who plays Boiler on the T side of Inferno as well. He knows all the tricks in the book there. Jax apparently not so much. He struggles to get the Molotov out, and it's not going to do too much for him. He's trying to get on the corner of Quad, I suppose. And now he has to check the trash position or he's going down, and he's going to make a lot of noise. This is starting to fall apart at the seams for G2. I'm not really sure what that little Gambit had in mind. Device going to nail this.
No issues at all. Playing it safe, even dropping a smoke to play around so he can exit safely, even mantle on those boxes. So many options available to him, and it will be a clean hold. Despite falling early, Glaive can just smirk as he watches the rest of the round unfold, and his Danes hold steady. Beautiful pickup. They actually took that advantage back. A quick 2 kills in response, as Henry highlighted. We'll get to see Devices pick up onto Kenny, and then Hunter just walking out of Boiler. All too easy for Dupree.
Absolutely true. Nice shot from Device here just to seal the deal, and we get into the second round here. As I mentioned, first to 18 will confirm double overtime, 19 for the map victory. There goes 18-18. We start again. For now, Kenny back on the AWP. Amanek trying to negate his way through all the grenades and potential damage on the other side. But what a shot that is from Glaive. Orp up close, works out for him. He buys it for a second time now after being taken down first in the previous round. Still confident to continue with the push here. Fires up another shot. Decent grenade. That's going to do a lot of damage there. He's happy. Going to fall back.
He has got so much confidence.
Yeah.
So much confidence. Crucial moment of the game. You lose this map, you're in the lower bracket. And still completely cognizant of all of the factors, goes for these high-risk, high-reward plays. Aggressive AWPing, perhaps not in his mind a risk at all. He knows the setups he has. He knows the fundamentals he's laid out for, the different looks he can give on the CT side. But I'm going to be seeing G2 accelerate here, though. The Molotovs are going to land, and Glaive can still dance around this pillar. Misses the shot, will be potentially punished for that, but not if Zipex has anything to say about it. He's smoked off, but that's not enough. Look at the nade damage. Nexa's got nothing, still finds a kill. Same amount of kills as he does health. Another one. 2 as Nexa cowers before Magisk finds him. An opportunity for Kenny, maybe, but my God, they're everywhere.
Yeah, I don't think he's got much of a chance here. Just trying to get the bomb down if possible. They're swarming in his position. Their flashbangs are deployed. Astralis just look untouchable right now. That is fantastic. Once again, it's Glaive. Confident as you like at the start of the round. Found the opening pick. Ran the clock down so low. They had no choice but to go back in towards B. And it just doesn't work out for them whatsoever. The strong hold just fends them off. No problem whatsoever.
We talk of utility damage, Henry.
Yes.
It's a fun statistic to pull out. And Glaive, not only is he an AWPer, and that was a fantastic shot onto Amanek. Close quarters AWPing on sandbags, no less. But Glaive is the front runner in utility damage by a very large margin. 440.
Oh, that's big.
big damage. Admittedly, we've seen full 30 rounds and then some. Device draws blood again. Astralis, they're reaching a whole new level. And check this out, they're boosting in Boiler. They're trying every trick in the book to catch someone unawares. It's Jax who actually does manage to find something for G2, but it's all too little too late, perhaps. 2 members remain. These frags have come in thick and fast from Device.
Looking for that 3-0. I don't see a world where KennyS can do much of this again, but he has managed to sneak out of the apartments. Maybe a plant here, but there is a player towards the quad side. Needs to be very aware of that. This kill might decide the round. It looks like it's going in favor of Astralis here. KennyS left in another 3 versus 1. Didn't get the plant down. Now needs to sneak around. If he gets this kill towards Arch, maybe he can actually get towards B, but they seem well too aware of it. Device, he can actually see him. See the glove sticking out, gonna fire off a few shots. Damage done, round over, 3-0 gathered. Doesn't get much better than that. And Astralis will switch over to the T side, just requiring 1 single round.
Damn. 1 round away. They get to play that CT side. The luxury, of course. You get to play that straight back-to-back of them, and so they did string together a great deal of rounds. Now it's I will remind you that this was where G2 accrued a lot of their rounds. It was their defense. It's not out of the realms of possibility that we do see double OT here, but the pace, momentum, and all those unquantifiables, in my mind, lean towards Astralis at this point.
Yeah, I think you might be right, and we got to hear a little bit there from Sonic. I did hear the word fake.
Fake?
Out of Kamama's mouth, so okay. I heard a fake. Saying that's exactly
in Danish
what
that means real.
Yeah, it could be. So that's gathered something from that. Let's see what they've got in mind as we get into what could be the final round of this second map. The pick of Astralis looking a little bit turbulent at times, but got a massive buffer of rounds. It's just 1 required as they fight off for B control here. Took quite a lot of nade damage. Amanek down to 26, now 18. Things really not getting easy for him. He still wants to be part of this round by the half wall.
Yeah, I guess he wants to take that fight, and he wins it. Device, despite knowing where he was and 1 bullet being enough. Amanek has managed to not only get the frag, but get away. This is great as another nade lands. Amanek's actually had 3 different nades interact with him, and his heart is still beating. Down to 17. Not the healthiest member of G2, and won't be given the job of solo holding. That's a Molotov from Zipex towards the quad side. So you could get caught with a smoke here by going in dry, not giving any cues to the CTs as opposed to just walking in. Look at that, nade in his hands, the trade though, from Amanek. He couldn't get off in time. And so now the B site is Astralis's. They completely mix it up. 3 frags away from taking us to a 3rd map. Completely locking G2 despite their heroics in the first half. Astralis aren't out of the woods yet. Magisk and Zipex to defend. They need 1. They are 3 frags away from achieving it. Hunter smoked off. Might want to choose to play around it. Has a small gap. He'll have the info if anyone's playing in front of it. No hijinks like that. They've got Zipex playing for that defuse and stopping that defuse. Kenny gets the pick, and now it's all onto 1 man. The man behind a lot of the magic of Astralis, especially in clutch circumstances. But this one, surely too tall of an order. Need to get someone on that bomb.
They got the play about the kid defusing it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Sure, dropping and changing. He has a perfect lineup. He caught the first. Running out of time, running out of chances. Now they've run out of smoke. Tags Kenny. Still defusing. He gets KennyS. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how